You've tuned in to the Top 10 Garden Show with garden expert Ken Lain. Join the conversation daily as he answers timely garden questions. Email Ken a question directly from your phone to his desktop through the web at watersgardencenter.com. That's Waters with 2 T's, gardencenter.com. Or visit face-to-face throughout the week where he can be found at Waters Garden Center in Prescott. Now welcome your host, Ken Lain.
So I had mentioned at the start of the show that I am a flower gardener. If I had to describe myself, I would not be I like flowers. I like the smell, the taste. I like to play with them. You got to get intimate with them. They have personalities. They have seasonalities. There's some that look great in the spring, not in the summer. Some that look great in the summer, not in the fall. Some look great in the fall, better than any others. And so there are actually some that are evergreen. The newest one that I've fallen in love with is called Merlot Euphorbia. It's the same as gopher plant or gopher spurge. That's all that same Euphorbia family. So they're all cousins of each other. So it's as hardy as that. So gopher plant or gopher spurge, the rumor is you put a gopher plant out in the gardens and it repels all the gophers. That is totally not true. That does not, the internet was totally lying to you. I don't know where they came up with that. I've personally tried that, and gophers came up right next to it. They didn't eat it, but it didn't actually keep them out of that garden. I actually had to kill the gophers. So they're an underground rat. They deserve to die, and they're eating my plants. You're out of there. And so I get go and be free over there. The second you cross the line, I can meet my hot tub, get my RV, make a home in my grill. You're eating my plants. I'm coming after you and all your kin. So that's just I might catch you and release you over there, or I might do more. I'm not sure. Depends on my mood that day. So we actually have quite a few animals here at the garden center. This fence around the garden center here at Waters is not to keep people out. Anyone can jump over a 6-foot fence. We've got locks and security cameras and all that kind of stuff to know who did that. It's really to keep the animals out. And so we get a lot of javelina, a lot of deer. If we didn't fence them, they would just jump right in. And then we get raccoons and bunnies and other things. And so there we have to trap a few of those every once in a while and then go out, release them into the forest, take them out there and just let them go. It's got to be over 2 miles away or they come right back. It's ridiculous. So my flowers, let's go back to flowers. Flowers, you can get them to rebloom again and again. And here's how you do it. So I've been taking my yarrows, have been in bloom for, almost 2 months. They're now finally starting to fade. Well, I've got family reunions at our house this year in Prescott. Families are coming in from all over, all the kids and their kids are all coming. And so I want the yard to look good. And so I've cut back my yarrows. I hedged them back. I gave them I actually fertilized everything in the yard with 744 all-purpose plant food. But the blooming things, in addition to that, I also give them super phosphate. Super phosphate is 18, 0, all that middle number. That's what forces flowers. And so if I'm deadheading, I just took a shear, took some hedgers, hedged back just the flowers, not the foliage of my yarrows, just the flowers, and then fertilized them, and then gave them some super phosphate. Pray for rain. Some rain comes, boy, they'll really go to town. If not, you can water them real quick. And they will be in bloom within just a few weeks. They'll come right back into flower. Your meadow sages do the same thing. This beautiful short wildflower, a mounding, sagey, kind of smelling plant with purple spiky flowers. They've been in bloom for forever. For 2 months or more. They finally stopped. Prune them back. Do the same thing. Super phosphate and all-purpose plant food, and just kind of make them go, and they will come right back into bloom. Jupiter's beard, or what's the ceanothus? What's botanical? Anyway, Jupiter's beard, a native plant, kind of like Euphorbia. I mentioned that one. We're going back there. Hold on. That comes right back into bloom within 2 weeks. You'll start to see flowers again. So deadheading or pinching the spent flowers off, and then fertilizing as the rain comes. That's the insider secret. I mentioned my new favorite perennial, Euphorbia. So Merlot Euphorbia. We've had for years a gopher plant. It's kind of boring. It's a good native drought hardy thing. Okay, got it. And it's pretty. It looks prehistoric, kind of spiky leaves, yellow flowers. Then we had rainbow ascot euphorbia. That was the latest introduction. Introduced that 3 or 4 years ago. It's this bright lime green, striking, hardy, perennial flower that gets about knee high, kind of vase shaped with this funky Dr. Seuss flower. It's very pretty. Well, the cousin to that looks just like rainbow ascot, but now it's purple. So now we got a yellow one, or gold, and we've got purple. Wow, they look great together. And it's one of the few evergreens. All those euphorbia families, they're evergreen. So they keep their foliage right through winter. They're perennial, but they don't die back to the ground, then come back fresh from the ground. They actually stay up and just up there, just right up there in the sun, the more beautiful they get. I'd say they need at least 4 to 5 hours of sun, personal experience, or more. But euphorbias, rainbow ascot, gopher spurge, and then look at the Merlot Euphorbia. Oh, you'd be happy with that. It goes in that, it's rock gardens, salvias, the sedums, those kinds of, it goes like that. Got more for you, but we got Lisa Waterslane coming in right after this.
Wondering why the grass is always greener on the other side? Well, it's probably because your neighbor used the all-purpose fertilizer from Waters Garden Center. Monsoon is right around the corner, and it's the perfect time to feed your plants. Waters all-purpose fertilizer is the only organic made especially for Arizona mountain soils. Don't buy a bunch of different fertilizer for your flowers, veggies, trees, or grass. This one does it all. The plants on your side will be happier, healthier, well, greener. Safe, natural, organic. Waters Garden Center in Prescott.
The Top 10 Gardener, your source for timely garden advice, seasonally correct for the garden, guaranteed to make a difference in your yard this season.